welcome to the fourth edition of ETBFSI FINNEXT Summit 2025. We're live from Bangalore, and today we have with us Mr. Nirav Shah, Managing Director, Equirus Capital. Welcome to the event, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, my first question: how has your experience been so far at the event?
No, it has been extremely good pleasure to be part of such a good event where you're kind of inviting a lot of successful fintech companies to participate and talk about what's happening in the macro and the micro environment. I think so far all the interactions has been extremely good for me and a good learning as a banker as well of what changes they are going through or the business changes they're doing, given the fact that the funding has not been as much historically as they would have seen. I think a lot of learning from the session so far.
Over to my next question. What is your outlook on IPOs for second half of FY25?
So see, historically, even IPOs, right? I mean, not talking about just the fintech, but across all the sectors and even in financial services, there were always times when there'll be few months where a lot of activity will happen, and there'll be few months where no activity will happen. I think that has been the general trend for IPOs for the last 3 4 months. We haven't seen a lot of action, but given the fact that now 2 3 IPOs are already getting launched, HDB is coming, and so on and so forth. I think over the next couple of quarters, right? There'll be good amount of activity. I think institutional investors are now started to back. Market has been a little bit stabilized in spite of what's happening at the macro environment has been around that range. So the biggest successful element for an IPO is the stability of the market, and when there is stability, I think a lot of investors will institutional investors back and IPOs will come. So what I would imagine is that for the next couple of quarters, at least there'll be many more IPOs that will come in the pipeline. Having said that, even on the companies which are planning for IPOs, they have never stopped in terms of doing the preparatory work for an IPO. So that has never got halted at their end. And as a bankers and even lawyers, I mean, if you talk to all the merchant bankers or lawyers, I think they are full up with their hands with all the IPOs coming up over the next couple of years. Yeah.
Thank you for those insights. Over to my next question. When do you see the funding winter for fintechs thawing?
So I would say that the funding for the fintechs, right? I would basically break up into three parts. Okay, entities which are very close to IPOs. There are a lot of pre-IPO activity that is already happening in some of these fintech companies which are likely to go for an IPO in the next quarter or even say a year or two down the line. I think that activity has been at the maximum level. Companies which have stabilized or turned profitable or turning profitable, I think again the activity of funding has not really stopped over there. What we have definitely seen is the companies which were still kind of establishing their ground, trying to reduce their burn, trying to catch up on the market growth, etc. The funding activity has generally stopped over there, which continue. We see that for the next couple of quarters, that's going to continue to happen. I think we'll not see a lot of change. Yes, over the last maybe a quarter or so, we have seen a lot of inquiries coming in to look at some of these Series B, C kind of funding. But Series A generally has been a little bit slow, I would say.
Understood. Interesting insights. Thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much for
talking.
inviting.
Stay tuned with ETBFSI for all the updates coming your way.